In my opinion, whatever I know, I feel that it is highly likely that Ethereum is going to flip in Bitcoin as a rank one candidate.
New Year's Eve of what year does it flip? That's market cap goes bigger than Bitcoin. What is that?
Aggressive estimate would be maybe Christmas Eve of 2024. There would not be any person probably on this planet in Web3 who would have spoken to more developers, more enterprises, more application builders than me and my team combined.
You don't want it just to be a bunch of nerds in the corner with $1 trillion market cap. You want it to be global, 100 trillion, 500 trillion market cap, and you've always been about that. That's been the vision of Polygon. So to do that, you need the tech, the scaling solution, and the big brand adoption.
The super cycle of crypto will not come without these enterprises also adopting into it, because they have billions of users interacting with them. If they are not a part of this, then this will never be mainstream.
What's it like dealing with the people at Instagram when it came to the NFTs? And do they know what they're doing over there?
They are hands down probably the best team. They have the best Web3 and crypto team. They're thinking 10 steps ahead. And now with this zero knowledge technology, you have that scalability on Ethereum. Why do you need any other layer one? The solution is there, it works, there's community. Why do you even need any other layer one?
So the ZK EVM is an L1 killer.
To be honest, Polygon is the layer one killer.
The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Sandeep Nailwal, the entrepreneur, software developer, and cryptocurrency pioneer. You are the co-founder and COO of Polygon, the scaling solution known as Ethereum's Internet of Blockchains, one of the most successful crypto projects with the 12th largest market capitalization. Polygon has now addressed major scalability issues while maintaining incredibly low fees, and earlier this year successfully raised $450 million in an effort to pursue your goal of bringing the mass adoption of Web3. You've also launched the Polygon ZK EVM, the first zero-knowledge scaling solution that's fully compatible with Ethereum that will reduce transaction costs and massively increase throughput without jeopardizing security. You have said that the Ethereum merge is welcome news and will only amplify the need for Polygon as the go-to transaction layer for users and builders, and you passionately believe that a multi-chain future built on top of Ethereum is the path to decentralization, security, and scalability. Sandeep, welcome back to London Real.
Thanks, Brian, for having me here. Very excited for this talk.
Me too. I'm always excited to talk to you. It's been almost a year since we sat down last time, and you've been busy and a lot has been going on. So we got so much to catch up on. I want to hear about all the success you're having with Polygon and talk about a bunch of these issues like the merge and the ZK stuff. But maybe before we get started, I'd love to get your thoughts on the market itself, because obviously we've come off significantly. We've had this crypto winter, and I know you have some pretty interesting thoughts about market cycles. You've been in crypto for a long time. But like you must have the younger generation sometimes at Polygon coming to you, people panicking. Like, how do you put everything in perspective? How do you even think about market cycles in crypto and even outside of crypto?
Yeah, so I think crypto market cycles traditionally have been governed by the Bitcoin halvening, right? So every 4 years, Bitcoin halvens, and at that time, like Bitcoin rallies, so a lot of other projects also, like their tokens and things like that, rally. generally crypto has been that, like, and up till I think 2016, 17 also that was the same thing. Even in 2020, it was governed by that. But I think now in the last 2, 3 years, crypto has also achieved a great amount of, I would say, product market fit. We see DeFi, which, the whole world, the whole financial world has reckoned that, this is something to be aware of, and this could be something of future. There's NFTs, gaming, brands now using NFTs, doing a lot of things. DAOs, like, so many protocols taking these community decisions to, govern these consumer owned or user owned, applications. So I think there's a lot of product market fit. So now crypto has started slowly correlating, crypto cycles at least have started more correlating with the macro world, like the larger kind of financial world. And I think currently what we are experiencing is the same. I think crypto remains pretty strong and steady as of now. I think the downturn you see in crypto is more to do with the macro markets and the liquidity tightening that is happening, quantitative tightening by US Fed. But I don't think that there is any inherent or any special kind of bear news in the crypto market. So, we are just following the macro markets in that sense. And the markets will revive or kind of go back to normal only when we have full clarity. Right now I think there is uncertainty that what is Fed is going to do. Are they going to increase now 75 basis point one more time? It's going to be 50 basis and all that. So we are just following right now the macro market cycles as of now. And I everybody believes, even the macro markets believe, that this could be like maybe 6 months, 1 year, whatever it is. But I think even if it goes to 2023, when in 2024 there is Bitcoin halving is there, and now you have Ethereum merge, which is the second largest asset, and suddenly with Ethereum merge, the supply of Ethereum also is cut down very heavily. So I think this could be a perfect storm once the macro market uncertainty reduces. And in 2023, you have, like, 1 year from Bitcoin halving, and Ethereum merge has already happened. So, a lot of things will be positive at around that time, alongside all of this product market fit. So I'm fairly optimistic with that.
Okay, so next year we're going to the moon. I can quote you.
Yeah. Unless like macro markets, like there are fears of 1929, like, depression. If we don't have that, I feel, and we have a, like, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months kind of recession, I think, things should be very, very positive on crypto side. But if we have like 1929, like kind of Great Depression, then then nothing will survive with that.
Well, talk me through like the last 6 months, because in February you raised 450 million, and then in June everything's just hitting the bottoms, including Matic. You guys got down to like 35 cents. What were you thinking as all these things happened? Was the raise, I mean, that's not easy to raise that chunk of money in those markets, but you did it. And then you kind of weather through that storm in June. What are the kind of things that's going on in your mind when this is happening?
Yeah, I think when I went out for that raise, this calculation was in our mind. Like, we did the raise in like last year, actually October, November, when the market was still booming. And the kind of things we were building, like, this thought, actually we still had decent treasury, right? But the kind of things we were building, it was very clear in my mind that one of the largest, so we have our co-founders meeting regularly, right? So where, I list out all the risks that we have, right? So this was one of the risks that we had, like, okay, we are doing great work. We are, now we are building pioneering technology, cutting edge technology on the zero knowledge side and things like that. And what can be the worst that can happen? Of course, there are other risks like hacks and, traditional crypto and any startup related risk. But this was also one risk, that what if, like, world goes into a massive kind of recession, and we end up not having the enough bandwidth to hire the talent to build it. And that was a thought process, and that's why we thought that, okay, the markets is right now are good. Let's go ahead and reserve at least 3 to 4 years of runway. Like, I assumed a 1.5 to 2 years recession in between. So I thought that, okay, we need to have a runway of 4 years, and not only runway, but an aggressive runway, which actually, with which we not only like build but we build and dominate, like as a community, as a Polygon platform. We are able to not only build, but we really go hard at, like, in terms of getting the adoption, which is our ultimate goal. So I think that was the thought process, and I think that in the hindsight, it played out well. But you never, like, as they say, hindsight is 2020. So it was kind of a stroke of fortune also, or luck, that we raised just before that. And after that, it would have been very difficult to raise this kind of runway after, let's say, the markets turned bad. So yeah, we were lucky that way.
Yeah, that's not luck. I mean, that's the experience of your team, because it's very, it's very easy as a human to not raise capital in the bull markets, right? It's just the good times are going to roll. You got plenty of cash coming in. No need to worry about that right now. It takes discipline to raise capital in a market like that, right?
Yeah, I agree. But I think that I am actually not that good at and disciplined in timing the markets, to be honest. But the kind of things that we were doing, like, it was very clear to me, like, these things, like the products we are building, they were screaming to me. I feel like I am not that, I would not say that I was like that, what forward looking and all that, but those products were like, we need to be done justice with this, like, we need like this kind of runway. So I think that I also thought about it, like, to be honest, my mind was like, why do we need this money? We have decent treasury. Polygon is like, is now a very good valuation. Whenever we need money, we can use this matic to raise money in the markets, right? But then again, like, I could not have, or we could not have, risked our products, like, because we are very, very, very bullish on the things that we are building right now. And we definitely feel now, in the history of like 4 years of our this organization, the group which started Polygon, that we are today is the, we have the maximum amount of opportunity. Like, previously we were doing a lot of things, but now we can see this, like, okay, this is this here, we just have to walk this path and not screw up in between, right? So so that actually helped me in that.
Yeah, I mean, probably maybe one for the first times ever, you can literally clearly see exactly where you're going and where you need to go, and it's just about execution. Whereas a year or two ago, maybe it wasn't as clear. Like, you knew where you were going, but now you can really see it. It's happening, right?
Exactly. And it was true for the entire crypto industry, to be honest. Like, at that point in time, like, nobody knew exactly where the world is coming, how much adoption is going to happen. I also used to debate with myself that, are we going to have like a AI kind of cycle? Because you remember, like, I think we used to have a television show. I always quoted the, the small wonder, right? So with there is the younger sister, like, as a kid we used to watch, and the younger sister is Vicky, who's a AI. So, and since then people are saying AI is coming, AI is coming, AI is coming, and then it's been like 20, 30, 40 years, and even now you're saying AI is coming, right?
Right.
So I thought, because blockchains and Web3 is also a fundamental technology, like, blockchain, I even say that at times blockchain, I don't even think of it as a separate technology. It's basically kind of a revolution, or a kind of a way to do things we figured out in this digital world. And you don't really know, like, when it will fully blossom in terms of its, at that, like, 2 years, 3 years back, we did not know, till DeFi broke out, NFT broke out, gaming broke out, and all that. All these were just ideas before that. So that nervousness was there. But today, in terms of the what markets need and the demand, as well as what is the demand, and as well as what markets need, what do we need to get these next, like, 100 million, 200, or maybe a billion users in Web3, right? We see the demand is there right now. Infrastructurally, we are not ready. That is what Polygon is working on. We are looking to build that infrastructure which can take these 100 million, 200 million users. Today, all the blockchains combined, like, whatever it is, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, everything you combine, they can hardly take 5 to 10 million users, daily active users, right? If you go beyond that, then most of these chains will start experiencing issues in terms of gas fees spiking up. In some of the chains, we see that the chains keep going down all the time and all that. So because the scalability is not there, with the things that now ZK unlocks for us, we can clearly see that we can scale it up to, in next 2 years, to probably to be able to serve, let's say, 50 to 100 million users, right? If we do it right, execute it properly, in next 2 years, we should be able to easily reach a place where we can say that, okay, apps go and build as an ecosystem. I'm saying you can go and build good apps, and then users will come. And if the users come, the scalability will be there. Not like before, where let's say crypto kitties breaks out or bored apes breaks out, and then you have to pay $500 for doing a transaction, right, on
Right.
Ethereum, for example.
Right.
So we'll have that kind of scalability, and that's why I'm saying that the path is clear. Reach that infrastructure scalability and let the ecosystem blossom. After that, the ecosystem, I mean the app ecosystem.
And in your mind, you guys are the only ones that are going to do it. You're the clear winner that can provide that scalability. There's not a second place right now.
I would say that there are other good teams also, but I think that our experience says that every one of them has some of the other strategic misstep that they have taken, because also, like, one of the biggest strengths of us at Polygon is that, for example, Jayanti, we are my other co-founder Jayanti, right? Like, we are app builders, and then we did some acquisitions, this that, and then we also brought in protocol, like protocol people. So our team has a very good visibility, I feel, like slightly better visibility of what developers want in the short run, in the middle run, and the long run. Many of the crypto protocols, infrastructure protocols, are built by very deep, I would say, even like nerds and geeks, right? So they are focused on building the best blockchain tech. Not that much, like, they understand now this is very important to actually get adoption, but I don't think that that's in their DNA. We have that in our DNA. So not only we build the tech, but we then go out and try to get developers to use that tech, right? So I think that's a defining factor. That's why I feel that we are, like, definitely ahead in the lead, because, for example, ZK rollups also, we are the only team which has an open source zero knowledge rollups already shipped out in the public. There is a public test net coming in, and it will be a matter of weeks when we'll be on the main net. So that's why definitely we are I'll not be as strong as there is no second. There are some people of very, very good teams, like, and we have huge respect for teams who are also doing this, but they have strategic miscalculations here and there, which we feel that the moment we are out, and the kind of momentum that we have in terms of the adoption, we are arguably the most adopted blockchain today. And the way we are going, like, as a Polygon ecosystem, again, I'm saying that the way Polygon ecosystem is growing, if we have this cutting edge tech also live, it's kind of the perfect storm for this to go to a next stage, and it becomes like, or starts acquiring huge network effects. Beyond that, which becomes very difficult. For example, Ethereum as a layer one has those network effects. Like, even no matter what you build, what kind of beautiful technology you build, but the network effects that Ethereum has, it's really, really hard to compete with them. Like, it's like in the blockchain, in the programming languages, you have JavaScript, right? Nobody, like, some people, a lot of people would be there that JavaScript is not a good programming language and all that. But today you see the whole world runs on JavaScript. Like 90% of all the things that you are interacting, the bigger things, they have JavaScript running on them. Like your web browsers, everything is JavaScript, and the backend also JavaScript to cover. So it's about those network effects also. And that's what, like, I think we have a good window, I feel. Once our tech is live with all this adoption, we have a very good window and comfortable window of building all those network effects and go really big.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Ethereum. I mean, we've called it the Microsoft Office of the blockchain before, just so people would understand that maybe it's not the best technology, but when everyone's using it, it's the technology everyone uses. And so you've always said that no other L1 is going to compete with it. And I guess you're talking about the Cardanos and the Solanas and the AVAXs, and we've had most of those founders on here. But for you, you're saying because of the network effect and the history and the developers out there, for you, it's the winner. 99% chance the winner.
Yeah. I mean, the names that you just took for the layer ones, in our mind, that they might have had some small opportunity, like for few months, where they were actually able to create that kind of attention, all that. But with all the, again, like few strategic mishaps, whatever, I think most of them lost that window. Like all the existing ones, like in our mind, they're already done. There's no chance for them to come back. Maybe some new ones also are coming in. Let's see what they come up with. But I feel like it's extremely difficult. I would even put it at 99.999, like 0.001% chance for anyone. And
Wow.
it's not only about the technology actually, because that's easy to build. The network effects is also okay, but the way Ethereum community has been built, the way it is decentralized, the way it has been decentralized, the decision making, the building, like in between, like people, some of the people became kind of negative towards Ethereum because, let's say, in the year 2016, 17, 18, 19, Ethereum development was not going so strongly, so smoothly, because Ethereum became like a very true democratic system, right? And in these democratic systems, these are self-correcting systems, right? So, it became like too decentralized, too many people came in and everybody had voice. There was no particular vision, but the community eventually came together. Some of the sane voices came together, brought in the motivation and all that. And if you see the last 2 3 years, Ethereum community, and this is so like amazing for me to even think that no single party is building it, but Ethereum somehow has been able to roll out such big updates like EIP 1559. Now we are talking about this merge, which is like humongous. I don't think that humanity has ever seen this complex of software spread in this kind of complex environment and getting updated, right? So this is again a phenomenon itself. Then you have EIP 4844 and all those things where community is now delivering. So I argue that Ethereum went through its chaos and all those cycles, but it was an evolution cycle for Ethereum, and now Ethereum community is truly become really strong, where they are able to deliver feature after feature and the improvement after improve on the protocol. So that kind of removes that advantage of these teams which were like, okay, we'll come fast as a unit and deploy and something. The second thing is that, as I said, as I'm saying that, why Ethereum is so big is that people like me in our team, people like, the tech builders, on our side, we are dedicated towards Ethereum. Why? Because we feel that it is our network. Ethereum, we are also Ethereum, right? I don't think there is any other network which has that kind of community. Like, and we are just one of the small players, right? There are like layer 2 players, other layer 2 players also, some really amazing layer 2 teams. They are all working towards Ethereum, or not only Ethereum, everybody's working towards Ethereum. So that's again like very hard to achieve. Even the developers, like for example, all this documentation, millions of developers have tested, built on Ethereum, right? So, when developers build, they will encounter problems. They will post in the online forum. Somebody will respond and things like that. And when you are building, 90% of the time, you will encounter all these issues. You will simply Google that, okay, I am getting this error. How do you solve this? Somebody would have solved it. These are the things. This documentation gets built organically. There is no shortcut to that. Even if you put $1 billion to it, there is no shortcut to that, right? You can't do it. So you have to go through that pain. Then all these hacks that you see on Ethereum, like billions of dollars of hacks, right? Though every hack, when it happens, it strengthens the security systems. It strengthens the auditors, right? Everyone has to go through that, right? Solana recently had a very massive scale hack, like, I mean, kind of weird also, but very massive scale hack. That those kind of things, although have never happened on Ethereum, but other more sophisticated hacks have happened, which has strengthened. So that kind of organic growth also comes. And lastly, I feel it's about it's about not only us as product who are product building or builders who are contributing into Ethereum, but the true kind of libertarians who Ethereum community has been able to attract, or who actually are there not to make money or anything, but to change the world, right? So if you talk about any other layer ones, they can count on their fingers that what such kind of people in their entire ecosystem, like on single hand I can say that they would not have people who actually want to change the world. On Ethereum you have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of such people who are there to change the world, which, like, combining all these things, subjectively and objectively, I don't think anybody else is.
All right, we're going to pause the broadcast. I'm going to go buy some more Ethereum right now and some Matic while I'm at it. So, no, you make a great case. You make a great case, Sandeep. You really do. And, I run an academy, a crypto and DeFi academy, and I get my students, some of them have never owned crypto before. Some of them have it. They go through hot wallets, cold wallets. They set up centralized exchanges. I get them on a DEX, and I get them doing DeFi trades and even options trades because I want them to learn in 4 weeks by doing. The biggest complaint I get, of course, is the gas fees on ETH. And I always tell them, look, we're going to use this because everyone's using this. Pay the gas for now because the learning experience is so important. And once they see DeFi and they see this, they're like, oh, wow. And I said, trust me, it's going to get better. You got the best people in the world working on this. You got billions of dollars being dedicated. You got my man Sandeep out there in Dubai working on this. And when it gets there, it's all going to be worth learning this system. And
and they can, if they have issues with gas fees, like now they can use Polygon, they can use Optimism, they can use Arbitrum. These things, these Ethereum scaling solutions are already there. They don't even need to interact with the mainnet.
Right. And so let's talk about the merge, because again, we're kind of touching on it now, and it's important. And a lot of people don't understand exactly what the merge is. So maybe we can briefly talk about what's happening. Again, like you said, it's a massive undertaking. It's a huge piece of software that's woven its way in all over the world. And now it's moving from a proof of work to a proof of stake, which is a huge change. But it's also not going to increase the transactions per second that significantly, which means we're still going to need Polygon in a big way. How do you walk people through what the merge is, what it isn't, some of the risks involved, and when will we know if everything's going to be okay?
Yeah. So see, like one thing is very clear in the blockchain space, like after all this research, testing, and products going live, battle testing and all that, is that there can be no single chain which can have all the transactions of the world. That's not going to happen. This just not possible. And how we see the world, this Web3 technology growing on at an internet level scale, where like billions of users are there, is that you will have this strong settlement layer, like where the value, because we are building this internet of value, we have this strong settlement layer, which is Ethereum, which provides you strong guarantees of your ownership, strong guarantees of censorship resistance, strong guarantees of decentralization. And once you have that, plus strong, now it is adding strong guarantees of computation with layer 2. What I mean to say is that when you when you use layer 2, at the end of the day, you are doing some business logic computation on layer 2, but the guarantee is coming from Ethereum. So it is providing you everything. So how we see the world is you will have this Ethereum layer, and on top of this, you have this hundreds and hundreds of and thousands of these chains where you can transact at a very, very low cost, but in high volumes. And all of those security guarantees are provided by Ethereum. That is how the world is going to grow. So the merge, expecting that the merge will make Ethereum so scalable that everything can exist here, that thesis is already discarded by the larger community as well as the research community and everything. So what we need to do with Ethereum, so we need to understand that we are not, when we are doing anything at Ethereum level, we are not doing or we are not doing that to provide more scale for Ethereum as of now, at least, right? We are doing this to make sure that this settlement layer becomes more stronger, becomes more greener, like it's not like proof of work only, and it can achieve larger levels of decentralization. We are optimizing for that at Ethereum community, right? More decentralization, more robust technology, more greener. That's the main game in this one. The scalability is not even a design goal in this. The scalability, even Ethereum's roadmap is moving in a way where we don't do scalability at this layer, but we provide ways so that the other layer, the layer 2, can scale and still have all the guarantees from Ethereum. So that's what I'm trying to bring home this point, that Ethereum's purpose, or all the Ethereum core developers, the purpose is not to provide all the scale at this layer itself. The purpose is to make this settlement layer in a way that it is able to provide these decentralization, censorship resistance, and security guarantees to other layers where the transactions can happen, users can interact. So this merge, essentially, we are moving from a proof of work mechanism to a proof of stake mechanism. So the computation power requirements will go down by 99%. 99.9%. There are various estimates, and the way the Ethereum POS has been built is that it will be more kind of fair and will promote more equality, because in proof of work also what tends to happen is, like, for example, currently Bitcoin, in proof of work there are 5 or 6 large mining pools which control all the mining power in Bitcoin. Similarly, in Ethereum also with proof of work, this kind of centralization kind of slowly keeps on happening. Although there are economic mechanisms wherein Ethereum also and Bitcoin also both are fairly safe, that those miners have enough amount of skin in the game that to do anything wrong against the ledger. So that's fine. I'm not arguing is that, but I'm saying that with this kind of POS Ethereum has built, the kind of functionality it has, although there is a lot of misinformation from the some private groups that this will lead to more centralization from POW, but it's very clear to people who understand this proof of stake technology that at best it can be equivalent to what kind of centralization is there in the proof of work. At best it will start approaching that, but in an average case scenario, it will be much more decentralized than this, the way Ethereum, this thing has been built. So the core goal is to bring this, move from proof of work to proof of stake, which is more greener, arguably can have more decentralization, where even full nodes are first first grade citizens, not only the miners, but full nodes are also first grade citizens, and a lot of design theories have been built. So that is what Ethereum is trying to achieve, the merge, not scalability, more decentralization possibilities, more centralization possibilities, and more computational readiness to provide security to other layer one. Scalability is very clear, will come from these layer twos of the world, polygons, and other layer twos of the world.
Okay. What are the risks? And this is all going to happen in the next week or two. Are you worried? Do you lose sleep at night? What are the risks, and when will we know it's going to be okay? And then what will happen to ETH on the back of it?
Absolutely not. Because this has been tested very rigorously. Multiple test nets have been tested. And for example, Polygon's testnet is also on Goerli testnet. So even Goerli testnet migrated, and our testnet worked perfectly fine. So it is also important to understand that the way this merge or this upgrade is happening on Ethereum, it does not affect any of the developers which are building on top of Ethereum. So no apps get impacted, no users get impacted, no protocols like us built on top of get impacted. It's like for us, we are above the surface, something is changing below the surface. We will not even notice that something changed. No change in gas fees, no change in way we interact, no change in wallets, nothing. Right. So that's why, the risks are, there can be some very kind of corner case scenarios that when it actually goes on the mainnet, in let's say 1 week or 10 days from now, we realize that, okay, there are some opcodes which are not working, or even when it goes live on the mainnet, the chain, that's the biggest risk, I would say, is that chain gets halted. Though then the Bitcoin maxi group is and that's not really a very terrible thing, to be honest. The community will quickly come back, they will hard fork, and then again the chain will start, and they will have to do the merge process again. So that's a risk, and that will lead to a lot of loss of value also for Ethereum technically in the short run. But that's kind of the biggest risk, and that has already been addressed by this rigorous testing already or now. Unless that happens, I think everything else is manageable. If the chain goes well, it remains live, and uptime is, maintains uptime, and people are using it. And later on, we realize that there was some, kind of scenarios. Those, I think, will be, people will be able to solve them with engineering solutions. So I am 99.9%, confident that it will happen perfectly fine. There's nothing to be worried about.
Okay. Even with all the Bitcoin maxis around the world hoping and praying that it fails. And so
yeah.
what will this mean to a Bitcoin maxi if this goes through okay? And why would they want it to fail?
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of maxis on the show. So
yeah. And I think I mean, I have huge respect for Bitcoin. Bitcoin only started this whole this thing, but I think somewhere in the middle, the leadership that took over and all that, I think there are some strategic missteps we feel or I feel maybe, and I can be completely wrong. I'm nobody, just I'm humbly saying, just citing my opinion. But I think Bitcoin today, if you see, is they completely changed the narrative to that it is Bitcoin or it is digital gold, right? So then when it is gold on Bitcoin network, you can't really do transactions, or you can't do much transactions over there. And the only thing that Bitcoin has in its favor, or two things actually, is that, one point that, okay, the supply is fixed. Like we have $21 million supplies that will be scarce and this and that. The second thing is that there is the Bitcoin as a brand. These two things are the core big things with Bitcoin. Everything else, if you see, with all this happening, because there are not many transactions in the network. So what is the incentive for the miners to keep supporting Bitcoin when the halvening keeps on happening and the mining rewards become lower? Then the supply, okay, supply is fixed, that's good. But in terms of the base layer innovation, there's not much that is happening. Like, recently Taproot went live, which is also not that much of a big thing, and after like 2, 3, 4 years. So there's not much, but they argue that, the stability of this layer is actually the most important thing. But if you compare that with Ethereum, provided this merge also goes smoothly and all that, Ethereum has been able to successfully upgrade multiple good features into it. In terms of the supply, Ethereum supply is not only actually fixed, but it is actually deflationary now. Eventually Ethereum supply is going to be deflationary. Second thing that people have raised a lot of questions, like even Warren Buffett said that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, right? Whereas Ethereum, if you see, it has intrinsic value because it is the currency to use this massive world computer, or the value or the settlement layer of this internet of value. So it has an intrinsic value. The third thing is, the Warren Buffett and these finance wizards have said that Bitcoin doesn't even provide any yield, intrinsic yield. If you see that with Ethereum today, if you hold Ethereum, you can actually stake it in the network and earn the yield from the transaction fees. So it's a yield bearing asset. It's a deflationary asset. It has actual intrinsic value. So that's why and it has a good brand also. Of course, Bitcoin is like way ahead of Ethereum's brand globally, but Ethereum also has good brand. People know, whoever knows Bitcoin deep enough, they know, oh, there is something Ethereum also. Whoever uses Bitcoin or invested in Bitcoin, whatever it is, they know Ethereum. People who have just like watching crypto from a distance, only they are the people who know only Bitcoin, right? But that don't count. They don't count. The actual users who are there in crypto, 90% of them who know Bitcoin, have bought Bitcoin, they know Ethereum also. So I think eventually the larger world is also going to realize brand will keep growing and all that, people are going to realize that whatever thing, you are thinking Bitcoin has value or has utility, Ethereum also has that and some more, and much more, I would say, right? And it's a matter of time. So that's why I feel, and I have like no, kind of hate towards Bitcoin. I don't want to be Ethereum maxi or anything, but I feel that the way Bitcoin has grown in the last 4 or 5 years, the narratives or the things they picked up or the prioritizations Bitcoin community has picked up, I think they are going to be, in the longer run, they are going to realize that, oh, there was some missteps. Like, now recently I was having a debate with someone, and then somebody said that, what if we realize 3 years or 5 years from now that Bitcoin BSV actually, or Bitcoin Cash were the better versions, because they were actually focusing on payments also. Like, they were trying to make Bitcoin some sort of settlement layer, like where the country, intercontinental, like payments are being settled and all that, and Bitcoin could have been used for that. But now, because of the locked block size of Bitcoin, they kind of put Bitcoin in a corner where it can't even support the settlement like transactions over there. So that's why, like, I have my doubts on that, and I feel sad for Ethereum Bitcoin community, because they are also very vocal. The problem is that nobody listens to sane voices, like no, number go up, and all that community has become bigger. But again, like, people like us who have huge respect for Bitcoin and all that, what Bitcoin did, many of them actually migrated to Ethereum because of the community, the inclusiveness, the growth mindset and things like that here.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to pause again and buy some more Ethereum, if that's all right. I'm going to sell some Bitcoin and buy some Matic. You make a great case. Speaking of Bitcoin versus Ethereum, it's a spread that I look at constantly because I teach DeFi, and it's coming up to recent highs now. I think it's about 0.085 right now. And again, Bitcoin recently hit almost its recent lows, and of course, Ethereum is up 50% from its lows. What do you think happens post successful merge to that spread of ETH Bitcoin? Or some are saying ETH might completely decouple from this market and just, go on its own. What do you think is going to happen? Not that I'm asking you to predict the price of an asset, Sandeep, but what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, I feel that, the decoupling you said, I think there should be a market, like sooner or later there will be, not should be, there will be a rally in the crypto market, which will be led by Ethereum. Right now, all the rallies are led by Bitcoin, but sooner or later there will be a rally. And this could have happened now just because the macro markets again became very bad. But after merge, it could have happened with Ethereum, where Ethereum would have led the crypto rally. And, the way, for all the reasons I just told, in my mind, and maybe like, again, I'm saying humbly that I don't know enough, right? But in my opinion, whatever I know, I feel that it is highly, highly likely that Ethereum is going to flippening that you say, like flip Bitcoin as the rank one candidate. And that doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't remain as a, digital gold or something. But all I'm saying is that larger value lies in Bitcoin, in Ethereum and Ethereum ecosystem. So that's one thing.
When does the flippening happen?
Your core question is what happens when this numbers. So that's why I'm basically, So I'm saying that in the short run, I can't say that, this like all-time highs get broken and then Bitcoin or Ethereum rallies against Bitcoin and all that. I'm not even looking at those, kind of trading pairs. I am more looking at the fundamentals, and looking at fundamentals, it makes it amply clear to me that, sooner or later that's going to happen.
Okay. So if I put a gun to your head and said, New Year's Eve of what year does it flip? That's market cap goes bigger than Bitcoin. What is that? New Year's Eve of 23, 24, 25?
So I would give one aggressive estimate and one conservative estimate, right? So aggressive estimate would be merge. Aggressive estimate would be maybe Christmas Eve of 2024. By 2024,
okay,
we should be able to, like, roughly 2 years plus something from here.
Okay,
that's the aggressive estimate. Conservative estimate is anything beyond 10 years, like 7 to 10 years, in my mind at least. Like, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. If some people, audience also, they have stronger points against this, like, feel free to tag me on Twitter and send it to me, and would love to hear more opinions. And I'm a very kind of malleable person in that sense. I hold strong opinions, but weakly. If you give me a fact, I can change my opinion. But I feel in the longer run, 7 to 10 years, the way we are progressing, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind. Okay. So 100%, I can sell that 100% is going to happen by, let's say, 2032. And conservative, it should happen within this, by 2024 itself.
Okay. What's your Twitter handle, by the way?
@Sandeep Nailwal, my full name.
All right. So go tweet him now and tell him tell Sandeep if you think he's right or wrong about the flippening. And all the maxis, just make sure you jump in there. Couple questions for you before we get into the ZK stuff, because that's super exciting. But I had Justin Sun of Tron on here 6 months ago. And first of all, he said a bunch of things, but he said, I own more Ethereum than Vitalik. That was one of the things he said. And he said they should stay proof of work, because that's working right, and leave the proof of stake to us other layer ones. Recently, he's talked about the hard fork. Justin will be back here, I think, in 2 weeks. What do you say to Justin, or this concept of hard forking it or keeping it proof of work?
Yeah, so I mean, to Justin, I would only say this thing that, it's about the vision of the community. The vision of Ethereum community is actually to go to mass adoption. Like, we don't want to be in this, niche or this corner of this market where we are some weirdos, and, as a whole Web3 or crypto people, we are some weirdos and, doing our thing in the corner. I think Ethereum wants to be globally recognized, globally utilized. And I can tell you, one thing I can tell you very humbly.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.